It's time to close out the round of 8 and to set the field for the championship round at Phoenix. We welcome you here to Homestead-Miami Speedway down in Miami, Florida, where today the drivers and Tyler Watermolen will take to the high banks of Homestead-Miami Speedway for the Juggernaut Truck Series. We are looking forward to this one, aren't we, Josh?
Oh, absolutely. Homestead always produces some great racing. You're going to see drivers riding up against the wall, some drivers down near the apron, and some drivers somewhere in the middle. This track, it should be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
And it should be exciting as we see a new driver to the top of the boards. Brian Haynes, P1 here in practice. So a great run for him thus far. There you see the driver of the number 1, Dustin Hall. He is out on track getting some last minute practice in. Just 3 minutes left to go in this practice session. And as we look to this, we'll look to what's important. We're going to look to your points. There's your leaderboard right now. Rich Petrucco locked in with his win back at Bristol. He is moving on to the Championship 4, but who will join him? Zach Rinker second, Cameron Stone third, Eric Wineland holding the final spot there here for the Championship 4. And with the way the field looks right now, Zach Rinker will lock in if the field stays the way it is, because no matter what happens, he will finish well ahead of the cut line, especially with only 9 trucks on track. He will absolutely make that field. He'll make it into the championship round, and you can't say it's not deserved. But you see down at the bottom, Craig Fryer, he's down 9 points, so that's still a close battle there between he and Wineland. Dalton Kelly is down 22. Alonso Chicano is down 41 in a must-win scenario, as is Dale Leakus Jr., but I have not seen Leakus show up here today. Chicano is here. I know for a fact Dalton Kelly is out for this race, so he will not be advancing to the next round. So it's all about what we're going to see in tonight's race. The big one's going to be that battle between 4th and 5th between Eric Wineland and Craig Fryer.
Yeah, and it should be very interesting all race long to see those two go back and forth. Who's gonna have the points at the end of this race to advance? All gonna be interesting, and I'm looking forward to this.
It'll be a close battle, and like we said, the only one we're gonna really be monitoring is we got 2 of them between Wineland and Fryer. And then we've got the battle for Alonso Chicano. If he can win this race, it'll knock somebody else out. So we'll have to see who it is. But I think right now, with Rinker being here, he is locked in. He will be moving on to the Championship 4. So Zach Rinker, you can pretty much put it in writing. That 60 truck is going to be advancing. Currently not on track right now, but Zach Rinker will lock up a spot. He will be your second driver to punch his ticket into the Championship 4. So with that being said, it's all going to come down to just who else can join Zach Rinker and Rich Petrucco and make it into the Championship 4. So his practice is almost to a close. Coming up on the end of it, 8 seconds left, and it looks like that's going to be your field. Just 9 trucks here at Homestead. Brian Haynes is going to be the top spot in practice. And now we get ready to go to qualifying. So as we get ready to see some drivers go out and qualify. Here we see the one at Dustin Hall. He is going to be the first one to roll off of pit lane.
Watching Tyler Watermullen, he just got really loose coming out of turn 4 on his warm-up lap. He's going to be the first to cross the line. And Tyler Watermullen is officially on the clock.
It's Dustin Hall going through, I believe this is 3 and 4. A little bit slower there on that top lane exit. That's 1 and 2. A little bit slower there coming around the corner. We'll have to see how he can turn things around here. Go back to Dustin Hall there. Not too sure what just happened there. But we'll see how things shake out. You see, he takes the line that time. Dustin Hall, third fastest, a very slow lap actually. 2 seconds off the pace. Now 3 seconds off the pace. Very much just looks like a warm-up lap getting ready to go. Now you see him picking up the pace. That's going to be the thing to see what lanes they run. You know, with a small field, it's really going to be a matter of, choosing the right lane and running the right race. You see Dustin Hall wrapping the bottom, coming through 3 and 4. Down to the start-finish line, a 32.780 will put him first on the board. Just knocking back Alonso Chicano. And now Kyle Reuter up to second with a 32.9. I believe Watermullen might have had an issue, or he just stopped it there. He did his 3 laps. It looks like so he is done. Meanwhile, Craig Fryer on his flyer lap. He is coming down to 3 and 4. Just missing the wall there, riding really tight up top. And that's done by a 33.128. Good enough to put him 4th. And it looks like maybe only one truck left out on track is the 15 of Carl Felver. His first lap, 33.5, puts him in the 6th position. Carl Felver, of course, he's got the playoff markings, but he was eliminated after round 1. So he is just racing for wins at this point to see if he can improve. Maybe get a couple wins in this end of the season. A 32.9 this time by. Good to put him 2nd fastest. But it looks like they'll be chasing Dustin Hall through this race. He is currently your pole sitter. Only 2 trucks haven't yet set a time. Eric Wineland, Zach Rinker. It doesn't look like they're going to be out there setting a time. So we might have our starting grid set here, Josh.
Yeah, track temp right now is 103 degrees Fahrenheit. I was wondering if Wineland and Rinker might have been watching that and trying to see if it might cool down a bit. But at this point, I don't think there's going to be enough time for them to go out there, make a lap happen. As there's 50 seconds left, it takes about 32 seconds get a time around here. So definitely will not be enough time. But it is that one truck, P1, on the board so far.
So what I'm interested in watching here, what I am keeping my eye on, Cameron Stone coming into this race. He was, I believe, 39 points above the cut line. Comes into this race up 39. So he will have a really slim chance to miss it, but he also has to get a couple things to go his way for him to move on to that next round. With him not racing, it's going to be kind of hard to do that. But we will see. But let's take a look at your starting grid presented by Mardon PCs. 9 trucks in the field tonight. Dustin Hall, Carl Felver, your front row. And it's Kyle Reuter and Alonzo Chicano. Craig Fryer and Brian Haynes. Then row 4 sees Tyler Watermolen and Zach Rinker. And then rounding up the rear, it's Eric Wineland. So like I said at the start of the broadcast, we've got the stars of the Juggernaut Truck Series and Tyler Watermolen ready to do battle. 134 laps here at Homestead. So Josh, let's talk about picks to win. Who is your driver to look out for in tonight's race?
I'm going to go with driver the number 25, Alonzo Chicano. He is good in pressure situations. I think tonight's going to be no different. And watch out for Alonzo. Take that win.
And you know what? I'm going to swing for the fences. I'm going to go for somebody that might be seen as a bit of a long shot. I'm going for that 86 starting right behind him, Brian Haynes. He showed some good speed in practice, and he's shown some good runs and good consistency recently. I think he's about due for one, and I think with the field being as it is, he may be able to sneak up and get one from the big guys. And those are your ones to watch here at Homestead. Dustin Hall, Carl Felver, currently leading the field, coming to the green. Coming through 3 and 4. Green flag is out. We are racing at Homestead.
Great jump there by Dustin Hall. Carl Felver, he might have spun the tires a bit. Look at Alonzo Chicano going from 4th to 2nd very easily there. Chicano riding that wall through 3 and 4. Seems like he's going to be the first driver to go up there, test the waters out. Side-by-side battle for 4th. It is at number 17, Craig Fryer.
Ooh,
Kyle Reuter.
Pushed up a little bit, got a little loose. Able to recover it to the outside. He goes, still a little wiggling. And Eric Wineland's going to take the spot on him as well and advance his position to 6th. As we see that 17 of Craig Fryer battling Zach Rinker for the 4th spot. And this will be big because, you know, with everybody guaranteed to get stage points now, it becomes a tougher road for Craig Fryer to pass Wineland on points alone. He's going to need a miracle, I would say. But what I wonder, too, is if we have somebody wreck out here, are they going to get stage points as well, even though they won't complete the stage?
That'll be interesting.
That's something we have to see. I mean, we've yet to see it with such a low car count. You know, everybody is in position to get stage points. You know, you could run one lap each stage and you will be in the top 10 to get stage points. So it's going to be important to see who can make it in and make something work. And so what I'm really wondering is if they will, you know, if someone wrecks out here, do they get those points? But of course, that'll be left to be determined later on at the conclusion of this event. If something like that were to happen. But right now, watching Craig Fryer, Eric Wineland battle for 5th. Of course, Fryer needs every point he can get on Wineland. But the bigger picture right now, we're watching, it may all be for nothing if this battle becomes what it is, looking at the 25, Alonso Chicano. He's going to the outside. He's trying to go for the race lead. Onboard with the Celsius Live Fit onboard camera for Alonso Chicano, hunting down race leader Dustin Hall. He has to win. You know, it was at the start coming into this race, he could have pointed his way in, but with a short field like this, he's going to be in a must-win situation. Down 41 to the cut line, it's going to be a challenge, but I mean, he's still got plenty of race to do it, and it's going to be a long way till the end of this one, so we'll have to see if he can get it done. But right now, it's Dustin Hall leading, lap number 7 complete, and looks like a battle for third, maybe heating up between Carl Felver and Zach Rinker.
Rinker has driven through the field so far. Looking underneath. Carl Felver not making a move just yet. He tucks back into line.
Noticing too, if you look and see at that banner, that the playoff decals for Zach Rinker matching up with the paint scheme. A nice touch, but at the same time, maybe shouldn't do that. You see a car in the wall in the back. That was Kyle Reuter. Just got the wall there on the exit 4. It's going to drop him another spot. He's going to be 8th, and of course, rounding out the field in 9th. He's our favorite back marker. Tyler Watermolen is rolling in the 9th position. He has top 10 speed for once in his career.
Going back to Tyler Watermolen, I noticed he was off pace, and I went back right around lap 4, a few laps ago. He actually got loose off turn 4. Went down, hit the inside wall, got some left side damage, and it has slowed him down a lot as he is almost half a track behind the rest of the field.
The field comes on the backstretch. He is just now crossing the start-finish line. Currently scored 14 seconds back, 15 seconds back now of the race leader.
On the other hand of things, there's 2 battles going on that we're watching. Zach Rinker to the inside of Carl Felver, and just behind that, Eric Wineland and Craig Fryer battling for position. Tyler Watermolen is going to bring his truck down to pit road this time. Tough start for that driver of the 68. Eric Wineland was able to make it by Craig Fryer, and Fryer is under attack from Brian Haynes.
Continuing to slip back, not what he needs, but of course, stage points are going to come in handy, and I hate to say this, but crunching a few numbers here. Cameron Stone is going to be on the hot seat at the conclusion of this race. With not showing up, not racing here today. You know, the lowest they can finish, the lowest the guy can finish is 9th place, but with Tyler Watermolen out of the race now, that's going to make it 8th place. So 8th place is the furthest you can slip back. And right now, with that being the case, 8th place would give Craig Fryer very close to a tie with the 57 of Cameron Stone, excuse me. That would put him just 15 points back, which of course he could very easily gain in the stages. So it will be a close battle till the end for Craig Fryer, just to see if he can make it in, because he's still got a window of hope to point his way in now with Cameron Stone not showing up. So it's not all over if he can't get by Wineland. If Wineland stays ahead and goes on to win the race, it doesn't matter, because Craig Fryer can still find a way into this championship race. We got a battle for second. Carl Felver is marching through the field, and he's pulling Zach Rinker with him. Chicano is trying the top lane, just can't quite get it to stick. And he's trying to get there, trying to do it. Right now, Carl Felver on the move. He is up to second. Since dropped the green flag, you see there, he started there. He's there. But he is right back where he was at the start of this race. But the other guy behind him, how about Zach Rinker from last all the way up now, battling for third.
Incredible drive by Rinker. And it's got me wondering if he is pushing his truck hard here, if his truck will fall off towards the end of the stage. Just under halfway through the stage, though. And it's something that I'm keeping my eye on.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight watch to see when they all come. It'll be lap 30, the end of stage 1. So we're at the halfway point. And like I said, 8 points. 8 drivers going to get points here from 10 all the way down. So I believe that would be 3 points for 8th place, because 9th would get 2nd, 10th would get 1. So you're talking about a good points gain. Craig Fryer right now is currently running in the 6th position. That's a 5-point swing his way. So it's definitely going to help this 17 truck to try to get those points that he needs, and especially for Eric Wallace, who you see, though, in the background, a little loose off the corner is Craig Fryer. He cannot afford to have any issues if he wants to make it to this championship round.
Just ahead, Alonso Chicano has slipped to the front of Eric Wineland. Wineland has caught Alonso for P4.
Battle heating up for 4th. Eric Wineland looking to make a move as well. He's trying to follow in the footsteps of Zach Rinker, who's made his way through the field. Wineland not really comfortable either coming into this race. A 9-point buffer to Craig Fryer. And like we said, it doesn't mean much, but if for some reason Alonso Chicano can win, that very well puts him on the hot seat. But right now, ahead of the 17, Wineland is in a good position to advance to the championship 4. He has very much become a championship favorite in the later goings of the season after coming back at Pocono, winning Pocono, then winning the next week. He won 3 out of 4. He has been on an absolute tear, so Eric Wineland looking to continue on into the championship race to see if he can't go for a championship.
And this 2-truck battle is turning into a 4-truck battle, as Fryer and Haynes are reeling in 25 of the 21. So all 4 of those drivers are practically under a blanket here.
Back to the back, Kyle Reuter still battling Wicked loose. In the background there, you saw him wiggling off of turn 2. But right now, it's kind of becoming just Dustin Hall running away from this 1.5 second gap over 2nd place Carl Felver, who is now back under fire. Zach Rinker is right there on his tailgate, looking to see if he can make something work with 11 laps to go in the stage.
Eric Wineland is now having to play defense. Craig Fryer right there at his tailgate. Fryer had driven the high line through 1 and 2 last time by. He is now looking in that mirror, seeing that 17 right there. He wants to stay ahead of the 17 truck, knowing the point situation he's in. These 3 all desperately want to go to the championship 4.
Yep, the 3 of them want to go, but there's only room for 2. You see Wineland sliding a little bit, so did Chicano. They are pushing hard. That's the thing. We've got 2 spots open, 3 drivers vying for it, so it's going to be important to see who can make it work. Chicano has to win. Wineland and Fryer. They can point their way in. They can make it in if they're able to gather enough points here. Wineland just has to maintain. Fryer, on the other hand, he has to get some work done if he wants to advance to the next round. But right now, it's Wineland battling Chicano. This is the fight for the 4th position. And you see Fryer backing off a little bit, falling back into the clutches of Brian Haynes. As meanwhile, up front, it's still Dustin Hall leading the battle for 2nd. Now heating back up, Carl Felver leading Zach Rinker. This is 2nd and 3rd. And of course, as we mentioned, Zach Rinker, he is advanced into the next round. He will be moving on to battle for a championship this season. Carl Felver, his playoffs were ended early, and now he's going to look to see if he can't go for another win. Seven laps to go in the stage. Every point's going to matter here. Wineland's looking to get around Chicano again. He's driving it hard on the inside lane. Chicano's going to defend. If he can hold him off, it'll be a 4th place finish for Chicano, and that'll help him out at least getting closer to that gap. But 41 points out with a small field, you're not going to get as much as you really need, especially with the big gap he's got behind Stone. So he's going to have to get it done and put it in victory lane tonight. You see Wineland drifting up to the top. Chicano's going to pull up and block him. Coming up, 6 laps to go here in the stage.
Alonso needs to take note that there are 6 laps left in the stage here. Just try to keep calm and stay ahead of that 21 as much as possible. He's got a 2 truck length gap back to Eric Wineland. Wineland searching around now, trying to find speed. He's running about a lane off the bottom.
And while all this happens, Dustin Hall, he's out front, dominating. He is currently 1.8 seconds ahead of 2nd place. Carl Felver, Zach Rinker right there is in 3rd. And of course, that battle's still ongoing between Chicano and Wineland. 8 trucks are on track right now. As Tyler Waterman will finish it up 9th. 16 laps down as of right now. It'll continue to grow as he is out of the race after sustaining damage from an incident, hitting the inside wall by himself, as per usual. But right now, it's all Dustin Hall leading the way, coming up on 3 laps to go this next time by. Things are all but settling in here for where we're going to finish.
Battle for 6th, Brian Haynes underneath Greg Fryer.
Fryer's sliding.
Fryer's loose.
Fryer's trying to hold on for everything he's got, dropping back to 7th. This is a disaster for the 17. He needs all the points he can get. Running in 7th, he's not going to maximize what he can get. He needs these points from the 86 as quickly as possible. It'll be 2 laps to go this time by. 2 laps of the stage. You see the 17's driving it in a little bit deeper, trying to get to the back bumper of Brian Haynes. Can't quite get there. He is still fighting loose on exit. It's going to cost him more time. Chicano still pulling away now from Wineland.
Wineland had a bad lap.
Everything's kind of gotten evened out. It's the last lap of stage 1. Dustin Hall leading the charge. You see, we're looking at the important positions. Chicano 4th, Wineland 5th, Fryer is 7th. Those are the playoff drivers we're keeping our eyes on here because they're the ones that are going to matter at the end of this one. And it's not going to be good for Fryer to finish at 7th, but meanwhile, coming through 3 and 4, Dustin Hall. From the start to the finish of the stage, he's going to dominate it and take stage 1. Rinker got a little loose there. It looks like he might have made contact with the wall almost. but they're going to finish up where they run. And with that 9 truck crossing the line, the caution flag will fly, and Dustin Hall is going to be your Stage 1 winner. So with that, Dustin Hall wins the first stage, and we'll have to get their pit stops through and see if we can't get a conversation with them, Josh.
Hey, Dustin, it's boys up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, bud, how are you?
Doing good. How is that one truck handling, though? Looking good out there so far.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. There's a couple of changes I want to make, but I'm not really sure which way to go. So I think we'll give stage 2 the same feel, see what the track does before I make any changes. But all in all,
Well, who do you think so far has been somebody that might go up there and compete for your lead? Looks like we saw Zach Rinker driving through the field before stalling in 3rd place. But is there anybody that you feel like is a threat right now to you?
yeah, Zach's always good. He did start at the back, so he had to, obviously come through some cars, probably push it a little harder earlier than he wanted to. I didn't know what Alonso had, so I pushed a little harder than I probably should have as well, just to keep in front of him, and then he fell off anyway. So, if he fires off strong again, we may let him go and just kind of save our stuff a little bit. We may do the same thing we just did. We'll see how the next stage plays out.
All right, we'll let you get back up in there, and maybe we'll talk to you later.
All right, buds. Sounds good. Thank you. Have a good broadcast.
Thank you. And that was Dustin Hall, driver of the number 1 truck, winner of stage 1.
So as the field goes double file, already ready to go back green very quickly here, with no extra time, unless the math is wrong here, which it feels like it should be. Things are looking like Cameron Stone is showing 40 points to the good now. He was 39 coming into this race. I don't know how he gained a point. So looking to see where that might be an issue, but everything else is showing up correct on my end, so I'm not too sure where that extra point came from. But Eric Wineland gaining 2 points on Craig Fryer. He's now 11 points to the good. But we see Dalton Kelly, Alonso Chicano. They're going to swap spots because Dalton Kelly not racing, and neither is the driver of the 69, Dale Leakes Jr. They will be out of this one. As you see the field come back, the green flag back in the air. Stage 2 is underway.
They are almost 3 wide for 4th place. Wineland backs out of it. See what he does. He stays behind the 86 Brian Haynes, but developing story, Zach Rinker, he is in the garage and has parked it.
Well, there's no reason to stay out there. I mean, he's already locked into the next round, so why keep pushing it? But the thing is, it's going to open the door for the drivers of the 17 and 21 to get some extra points. that's really going to help them out in this long haul. They're going to have those extra points where the others are not. So this may very well play a big part for Fryer and Wineland. That's still yet to be determined. Dustin Hall, though, continuing to lead.
Craig Fryer underneath Brian Haynes for third place. Haynes easily driving back past Fryer. I think Fryer got a little loose.
Might have been a little loose, but he is definitely battling. He's battling a very loose condition. Fryer's doing everything he can to go back up to the front. He's got to maximize his points at this point now. 11 points behind Wineland, and there's still a lot of points left to gain.
And I'm looking at... Go ahead.
I was saying, you see Wineland's peeking on Fryer. What are you seeing there, Josh?
I'm looking, track temp is 103 degrees Fahrenheit, so this track, it's hot, it's slick. You're going to see a lot of drivers getting loose all throughout this run. We saw drivers getting loose all throughout the last run, so no surprise here as to drivers getting just squirrely loose here as Fryer once again looks to make a move underneath Brian Haynes.
Fryer trying to get by Haynes. You see Chicano is back to second. He's trying that outside lane if he can make it stick. Haynes is going to slam the door. Fryer gets into him, a little bit of contact. 86 gets a little sideways. The 17 has to get out of it. That's going to allow Eric Wineland to the outside to try to battle for the fourth spot. This is not what Craig Fryer needed.
Not at all what he needed. That was tough there for Fryer, who is going to lose that position to Wineland. Have to tuck in as Wineland looks ahead to try to get around Brian Haynes. Not able to make a move just yet.
Yeah, he's still fighting hard, everything he's got. But it's going to be a lot to try to get up there and go for it. See there, that 86 is going to try to hold off the 21. Haynes is trying to hold off Wineland. Wineland's going to drift up a little bit. But you see, if you see what I see, Alonso is gaining. He is closing the gap on their leader. Chicano wants to go for the race lead here on Dustin Hall.
Yeah, Chicano knows the situation he is in. He knows he needs to get up there to the lead to win this race to advance to the final four. Eric Wineland, though, underneath Brian Haynes. Haynes pinching Wineland down to the apron. They are still side by side off two down the back straightaway. Once again, Haynes pinching Wineland. Wineland drifting up the track. This could be dangerous.
Oh, there is contact!
They make contact!
Wineland is around! Wineland to the wall! Massive damage, massive playoff implications! Haynes and Wineland make contact, and that very well could be the issue that leads to Eric Wineland falling out of the playoffs. Not at all what he needed to have happen, but Eric Wineland. Contact with Brian Haynes. You see there, they were running tight, and then Fryer with the kill shot to spin him head on to the outside wall. It's going to be close if they've got enough, that's enough damage to probably finish him off, but I don't think it's enough. But it's definitely going to cause some issues there for this number 21 truck. We'll have to see. Try to go back a little bit further and ride on board with Eric Wineland. You see right here, just drifting up the track, and then nosing into the outside wall. Goes Wineland. And some extra contact there. Puts him around. And very well could be the end of the playoff hopes for Eric Wineland.
A lot of drivers coming down pit road. Possibly taking another set of tires. Hall, Chicano, and Velver all stay out.
And you know, there's probably two people that are excited about what just transpired there. And that's going to be the 17 of Craig Fryer, who will be able to get some points, hopefully, on Wineland if Wineland's unable to continue. But also, too, Cameron Stone. You know, he's not fully safe in this thing just yet, but with these two wrecking, it could open the door. With Wineland wrecking, that could open the door to him staying in to the playoffs and going on next week to battle for a championship. It's going to be a close battle, though, because there's still plenty of racing left. But we'll have to see. Haynes has currently scored one lap down in the 7th position. Wineland is 6th. But he is back out on track, it looks like. Pulling off of pit road with some pretty good damage, though, to that 21 truck. So it's going to take a lot for Eric Wineland to catch back up and to try and go and make it into the next round of the Championship 4. We'll have to see, but you see Dustin Hall continues to lead, coming to 1 to green this time by. It looks like Brian Haynes peeling off pit road as well, so we will have 7 trucks still on track for the rest of the running of this race. But Dustin Hall leads the way. We are at about the halfway point for stage 2. So you got to wonder if this might be a strategy call for some of these drivers to try and stay out on the stage break and then push a little longer and then maybe pit a little bit earlier than the rest of the field and see if they can't catch him off cycle, off strategy.
Yep, I'm interested to see what kind of strategy these guys are going to pull.
Dustin Hall blinked out there for a second, but that's no big deal. No need to adjust your TV sets or your phones or your tablets or your laptops or whatever you're watching on. 7 trucks on track here at Homestead. It's so empty a Spirit Halloween is being built in the middle as we speak. Meanwhile, though, Dustin Hall into the Geico restart zone will lead him back to the green flag.
And a big jump by Hall. That's going to allow Chicano to get clear and get to the bottom of the racetrack through 1 and 2.
Wineland sent it 3 wide through the middle. Whatever damage he sustained apparently wasn't enough to kill him. He is not done yet. He is going to go for it here. His 21 truck beaten and banged, but it's still going. We'll have to see if maybe that was just a jump or if that was a case of he's got enough speed to keep with it.
He looks loose. Fryer to the bottom.
I don't know if that was loose or that was trying to stay ahead of the 17, but he's going to have to reevaluate his decisions here. He's going to drive up to the top. I think actually, yeah, it might be a little loose. See, it looks like it's kind of stepping out a little bit on him. He's going to have to fight that truck for a long while here tonight, or at least to the end of the stage to see if he can get enough points to maybe sneak his way in.
Velver underneath Wineland now for the 5th position.
And that'll put Wineland to the last truck on the lead lap. Of course, only 6th place, but that puts him to the lowest he can get right now with Brian Haynes being a lap down. So Wineland's going to have to count his blessings, though, because 6th place being the worst he can finish. It's still a good gain of points. But Craig Fryer as well, 4th right now, and he's going to need a couple more points if he wants to really try to go after this, battle to where he can try to lock up, even if Chicano wins, where he can ensure that he tries to make it in. field is shaken out. Kyle Reuter right now running in third position. He has been all over the place in this race, all the way back to 8th there in the early goings of the stage. Right now, sitting in third place, back where he started. Look to see if he can hold steady against teammate Craig Fryer. But at the same time, you would think he might want to step aside and let him go, because his teammate's got to get some points here.
I'm a little bit surprised here that these newer tires have not just already eaten into Dustin Hall and Alonso Chicano. Guys could realize there's not a lot of trucks on track, so no need to push hard. But the 9 and 17 are with Chicano now. Ritter looks to the inside of Chicano, as well as Craig Fryer.
You see Fryer looking to the inside along with Reuter to pass the 25 Alonso Chicano. Doesn't matter for Chicano, he has to win this race anyways, so stage points aren't as important to him as they are to the 17. Fryer to third, Reuter to second. Now they look to hunt down racing their Dustin Hall with 9 laps to go in the stage. Got plenty of time to hunt him down and catch him. Doesn't matter if they can get him to pass him. They enter 1 and 2, 8 laps to go in the stage. Dustin Hall, older tires, did not pit under that caution. The 9 and the 17 did. They took some fresh tires. They decided to go for the stage, and you can see the 17 trying to peek to the inside. Here comes Fryer. He thought about it for a second, and Reuter's going to close the door. Excuse me. He will shut the door on Fryer. Now he's going to go for the race lead if he can. He peeks the nose to the inside of Dustin Hall. Ducks back in line. See if he can get him here in turn 1. Here he goes to the inside. Battle for the race lead for the first time tonight.
Kyle Reuter doing a great job rolling that inside line. I don't think he's going to be able to clear Hall, though. Hall's going to have the run. On top, this could easily open the door for Craig Fryer to get that second place.
We're going to drive to the inside. Hall going to go a little bit lower than he did in turns 1 and 2. That's going to allow that 9 truck to clear. Hall's going to push it wide. And now Fryer's going to slide into second right in front of Hall. And now he looks to set his sights on Reuter for the race lead and for the stage win. 6 laps to go here in stage 2.
Great job by Reuter. Fryer, both to clear Hall. How desperate is Fryer going to be here? He has momentum. Let's back out a little bit going into turn 3.
I think desperation's going to be at an all-time high. 4 points from the first stage. This will be 14 stage points. This will be huge for Fryer, not only to gain onto Eric Wineland here if he can win the stage, but to gain on Cameron Stone as well, you know, to be able to try to push closer to knocking him out point-wise. If Alonso doesn't win, we can easily see Craig Fryer point his way in, but it's not that far out there yet, but it's still a long ways to go to the end of this one.
Fryer looking to the inside of Reuter, not quite able to make it.
4 laps to go on the stage. It's a battle between 2 teammates. They pit there on that last caution. They have fresher tires than the 3rd and 4th place trucks of Dustin Hall and Alonso Chicano. Here we go, battling now for the stage win, for the race lead. It's all going to be important for that 17. For the 9, it's just a stage win, but for the 17, it could be his ticket to the championship 4.
Fryer is being very patient with Reuter here.
He's putting down slightly better laps. Not marginally, but just slightly better. He has been able to run right there with him. Now he's finally going to peek to the inside. Here comes Craig Fryer for the race lead.
Reuter running the middle line. Gonna have the momentum. Just a little bit better than Fryer. It might take Fryer moving to the high line to complete this pass, but he stays low. Still right there, side by side, entering 3.
Coming up 2 laps to go in stage 2. Fryer's just not able to get it to work on the bottom yet, but here he comes, a run to the inside. Reuter bobbled a little bit in the outside lane. Here comes Craig Fryer for the race lead. Looks to
Fryer
get
moves. Fryer moves up, get the side draft just a little bit. They enter turn 1 pretty much neck and neck. Now Fryer edging ahead just a little bit.
He'll have to get him this corner here. He's going to be tight between the two of them. If he can clear him this time, I think he might have this stage win in hand, but it'll be close. Reuter's still to the outside. Fryer running the inside, hugging the bottom. Reuter's a little loose on the outside lane. Reuter's going to slide. That's going to hand it over. Craig Fryer's now going to take the race lead. And just like that, when he needs the points most, he's going to come up clutch with just his last lap. All he's going to do, he's going to take it nice and easy and navigate the rest of this track here, and he will be able to put a big momentum shift in his favor with this stage win.
Through 3 and 4.
He's going to do it. Craig Fryer, when he needs it most, is going to come home and win stage 2. And looking back to see Eric Wineland, he will cross the stripe in the 6th position. And now we look to see how that will shake up our points. But stage 2 winner, Craig Fryer, he gets it done here at Homestead in the 2nd stage of the race. Just like that, everything changes. So Craig Fryer wins stage 2. Josh, what do you say we dial him up and talk to him?
I just took her down 1 bump. Last thing I need to do is
Hey,
fucking...
Craig. It's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Gotcha.
Stage winner. You had to drive pretty hard. Stay up there with Kyle Reuter, and then, of course, Reuter got loose. Opened up the door for you to get by him.
Yeah, this week we're definitely doing some points racing. You know, I saw the door open up a little bit with Cam, unfortunately being unable to make it, so... You know, saw the opportunity with not a lot of the guys up front taking tires, so we had to use up an extra set because of it, but, you know, we were able to take 10 points away, so putting ourselves in a good position. We'll see how this 3rd stage comes out. We'll be alright.
Well, you've had 2 stages under the belt already. It looks like you're going to restart P2 here. So, how do you think the rest of this race is going to play out for you?
I think we'll see. I think Dustin's probably got the best ride right now, and Alonso, he's really good on the short run. You know, Kyle managed to put together a nice run, but I think, you know, there's a lot of people. There's a couple X factors out there with Alonso. If he wins, he'll steal a spot away from me or Cam or Wineland. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I think the truck's okay. I tightened it up a lot. I was really loose on a really long run getting off the corner. I couldn't get back to the pedal at all, especially in that first run. I was just holding it on. Everybody was really loose too. So, you know, I really burnt those tires up in a 15-lap run, but now I'm going to have to try to save some tire because we got 70 laps of green flag racing most likely with a smaller field.
All right, we'll let you get back up in there with your team, and maybe we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll talk to you guys.
And that was Craig Fryer, driver the number 17, winner of stage 2.
So as we take a look at your grid after the stages are done, Cameron Stone 30 points to the good. Eric Wineland is currently up 6 points to the cut line. Craig Fryer is within striking distance now. He can see that position in the playoffs. All he's got to do is capitalize. Alonso Chicano is down 38 points. He will need to win this race if he wants to go on and try to battle for a championship. And as you see there, Dale Leakes and Dalton Kelly not showing up tonight. They are out, but Rinker locking himself in. So with that being said, that's your standings right now. 6 points is the difference.
Lights on the pace car are off. We will be going green. Is next time by. I'm curious, Dustin Hall, he came back down pit road. Hall will restart 6th place. He's been the fastest truck so far on equal tires. They're all equal tires now. I'm curious what it's going to take for him to get back through the field. You heard Fryer saying that the key here is to save tires, as it'll probably be a 70-lap run to the end.
And with there only being, 7 trucks on track, there's really not going to be grounds for a lot of cautions. But I say that, and we had a caution with 7 trucks on track, so, what do we know? Anything can happen. It could take just somebody just sliding loose in the corner and overcorrecting. It could take anything just happening to anybody, and that can cause a yellow and change the race. Kyle Reuter won the race off pit road. He'll lead the field to green. Craig Fryer outside lane. Green flag back in the air. Stage 3 is underway. Who is going to punch their ticket into the championship 4 alongside Rich Petrucco and Zach Rinker?
Fryer got caught sleeping there. Alonso Chicano on the rear tailgate of Reuter. Wineland slid up ahead of Fryer.
Here comes Alonso Chicano for the race lead. This will be big. If he can make this pass, and he can make it stick. You see Fryer sliding sideways just a little bit. Chicano now to the race lead. He'll clear Kyle Reuter. Chicano to the lead, turns everything on its head, because now that puts the 25 truck into the championship picture.
And Fryer loose once again.
Craig
He saves it.
Craig Fryer is doing everything he can to advance to this championship 4. He is going to fight hard. He has currently scored 36 points, or no, 30 points, I believe, should be the gap between he and Cameron Stone. Could be wrong on that one. Indeed, actually, it is 30 points. That is the gap. And so with that, to tie him, it would take a 7th place finish. To beat him would be 6th. So all Craig Fryer has to do is hang on to 6th place or better, and he will point his way in to the championship 4. But that's all for naught if Alonso Chicano can win this race.
But look at Dustin Hall right there already hounding the rear tailgate of Alonso Chicano for the race lead. Hall running the middle line. Chicano staying low.
And I'm telling you right now, Dustin Hall is going to be Craig Fryer's best friend right now, because with Alonso Chicano leading, that puts Fryer out. If Hall can take the race lead away, that will put the 17 in. You see Hall moves to the outside, trying to get a run on Chicano. Can't quite get it. Chicano slamming the door. He continues to lead the race.
Dustin Hall backs out just a little bit. They both run the bottom line. Look at Hall wrapping the bottom beautifully. Now gonna stick his nose underneath. Hall gets loose.
Ooh. Battling now, hard. Dustin Hall driving it in deep, trying to get to the inside of Alonso Chicano. Can't quite get there. Chicano leads now. Hall peeks to the outside. He's trying everything he can to get around him.
Chicano is doing the best he can to stay ahead of Dustin Hall. Hall moves up. Hall going to run the high line.
Bump to the back of Chicano.
Lots of hard battling going on.
And just like that, Alonso Chicano maintains the race lead, fending off Dustin Hall successfully so far, but he's still got a long way to go. You see battling for 5th, Craig Fryer, Carl Felver, both CFM trucks battling for this spot here. Fryer gets to the inside, trying to go for the 5th position. If he can get it, it'll put him in a pretty good spot. And Eric Wineland right now is going to be in a good spot as well, because both drivers are going to be able to make it on points if Alonso Chicano doesn't win. But with this 25 leading right now, it's a 6-point swing between Weiland and Fryer. Weiland has the 6-point cushion, but the issue is that's pretty much what you got. You know, 7th place is going to give you 30 points. 2nd is going to give you 35. You cannot afford to not win this race, or to have somebody else, to have Alonso win the race if you're Craig Fryer. He cannot make it any other way. The only way he makes it is if Alonso Chicano does not win the race. And it'll be close to see, but looking as well, tiebreakers, I believe, gonna go to Cameron Stone with 2 second-place finishes. So, with all that being said, you know, Fryer cannot finish 7th, and he cannot have Alonso Chicano win this race. That is what the current situation is. So we'll have to see. We asked Zach Rinker if he wanted to say some words about making to the Championship 4. His comment, I'm good. So we'll let that be the case. But right there, Dustin Hall gets to the race lead. Now here comes Dustin Hall going for the race lead.
Alonso Chicano doing a great job rolling that high line. Hall not having a very good exit. Trying the side draft, not able to. He's going to have to slot in behind Chicano. And Chicano gets right back to the bottom.
He is doing a masterclass of driving. He is doing everything he's got to hold on to this race lead from the one trick of Dustin Hall. And that's just about what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to fight him off the rest of this race if he wants to make it to the championship round. If he wants to go race for a championship, he's going to have to fight like crazy, and that is what he is doing right now. Hall trying to run the outside. Chicano's going to pull back up. Here comes Hall back to the back bumper of the 25. Now to the inside. Here comes Dustin Hall trying to take the preferred line away.
Alonso Chicano rolling the high line once again. He is all the way up there. Hall gonna try the slide job. Let's see what Chicano does in response. He's gonna go to the inside for the crossover move, side by side going into turn 1.
And Alonso Chicano back to the race lead. This is a continuous battle, side by side, fighting, swapping spots like crazy. Neither of these drivers want to give up. Neither of these drivers want to give an inch to the other, and they want this race win as bad as ever.
Chicano gets the lead back. Pulled away from Hall just a little bit. Hall half a truck length behind Chicano now. Coming down the front straightaway. 57 laps to go in this race.
Still plenty of time left in this race for anything to happen. So this is not over yet. But this fight between the two, it's been intense. You know, since the drop of the green flag for stage 3, they have been going at it. And this has been amazing to see. You see, they're still fighting hard for everything they got. As the battle rages on for the race lead, looking a little bit further back, it's kind of getting strung out. Wineland has slipped all the way back to 6th.
Kyle Reuter in P3 doing a good job holding his own. He actually was faster than the two out front the last time by. And once again, faster than them again. I'm wondering if these guys burnt up their tires and now they're starting to pay a price for it.
So just to update you on your points scenario, what we have that's going to affect who's in the championship for. If we continue running the way we are, it will be Rich Petrucco, Zach Rinker, Alonso Chicano, and Eric Wineland battling for a championship. If Chicano loses the race lead, that will put Craig Fryer in, and he will join Wineland, Petrucco, and Rinker in the championship 4. If Craig Fryer were to win, that would put Wineland in as well. He will have enough points to catch and pass the 57 of Cameron Stone. For Cameron Stone to make the championship 4, it'll have to result in Alonso Chicano not winning, and Craig Fryer would have to finish 7th because he would own the tiebreaker on the 17 truck. That is how Stone can still make it, so he still has a chance, but with the stage results the way they went, it's going to be a slim margin for him if he makes it. But right now, it's Alonso Chicano leading the way, and what we're going to do, we're going to step aside. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back as we go side by side.
As a Grand Prix world champion in triathletes, I know how important it is to stretch before any competition.
I also know it's important to stretch. Mobil 1's advanced technology lubricates our engines
Yes, that is true.
and my joints.
Oh my word.
Soda cookies. Want one, Jensen?
Hey man, you cut me off back there. What you gonna do about it? Oh man.
Can you feel it? The taste of Coca-Cola. Well, the race
All right,
is over.
fine. Are we good? We're good.
Fly the blimp, too much hot air. Race announcer, same thing there. Wouldn't get a word in with you know who. Just get down on the track and do what you do. Slide down in my seat, pull the belts tight. Get up on the wheel and let the dust fly. Napa know how. Napa know
Ooh. Call Logano. Hey, Joey, you can save money if you fill up at Shell if you use Advanced Auto Parts Speed Perks.
Dude, I'm way ahead of you.
You saved at the pump?
Yeah, I saved at the pump.
The pump?
The pump.
He saved at the pump!
Now you can save at the pump when you shop at Advance Auto Parts. Learn more at advanceautoparts.com/gas rewards.
Now, it's my turn.
Man, we're door to door. I have the better car, fresher tires. I drove it in deep, and you missed it. I know you wanted to watch it, but you got throttled by your data plan, and it slowed you down. You hit your data limit streaming all that techno music, didn't you? I mean, really? Man, you've got some questionable taste in music.
Switch to Sprint, the only network with truly unlimited data.
Everyone knows that old NASCAR legend about how drivers, go during a race, so naturally we were curious.
Kevin, no bathroom break?
Nope, all set.
Hey, Kevin.
What's going on? Excuse me. I mean, those fire suits are made of high-tech fabric.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Looking at the rain.
You guys go on, I'll catch up.
Mahindra's the official tractor of Tough, right, Chase?
Yep, that's right, Tony.
This baby's got 4,000 pounds of front-end lift capacity, right?
It sure does.
So who's tougher, kid? Me or you?
You are, Tony. Can you put me down now?
What? You want to go higher? Okay.
I said down, you old goat.
I am the GOAT.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart Haas Racing.
Come on, Tony, put me down.
Welcome you back from non-stop action. Alonso Chicano has maintained the race lead and is putting time between himself and Dustin Hall. And meanwhile, other than that, the big note that we pointed out that Josh saw, Brian Haynes has been on pit road for quite a while. He is now 7 laps down. And it looks like a pit stop is ongoing. Very well could have been an engine blowing or just anything with all that damage he had to the front end. It very well could have been, you know, something that will pretty much take him out of this race. And the big thing with that is, if that is the case, if Brian Haynes cannot continue, that will eliminate Cameron Stone from the championship contender. He will no longer be in the playoffs after this now because he would have needed Craig Fryer to finish 7th. And Craig Fryer can finish at worst right now of a 6th place. So, Cameron Stone, he won the first 3 races of the season. He is out of the playoffs.
That is huge. That is absolutely huge for a guy that, like you said, started off the season with a big bang. 3 wins in a row. He will now be fighting for a championship next week or 2 weeks' time at Phoenix.
Yeah, 2 weeks' time at Phoenix is when we'll have the championship round, but it's still not settled yet. We've got 3 drivers that are pretty much locked in with the way things have gone here. Officially, Eric Wineland will lock in to the championship 4, so he will get to compete for a championship. You see him right there, currently running in the 6th position, but Eric Wineland, despite all the issues he's had in this race, he has enough of a buffer on Craig Fryer to where even if Fryer finished 2nd, Wineland will not be passed by him in points. So Eric Wineland will be your 3rd driver that is locked in to the championship 4.
Everything is pretty much spread out now. The closest you see is this 1 in 25 truck battle. Hall just not really able to stay with Chicano. Chicano just slightly faster than Hall for several laps now. Oh, some just happened with Felver. Felver stopped on the front straightaway.
Oh, Felver spun out. Felver also got loose there on the front straightaway. Off of turn 4, you see there it is in progress. We'll look and see what happened. Maybe just got a little loose and spun her out. But that's what's going to do in the 15 truck. Sliding it around. You see Wineland a little loose as well there as he comes around. I wonder if that 15 was trying to cause a caution. Just couldn't quite get it to come out. Forbidding it out on that apron down there. But Carl Felver losing it off of 4, it's going to cost him some time there.
Going back to the lead, Dustin Hall starting to turn faster lap times than Alonso Chicano. Hall ran the high line through 1 and 2, right back down to the bottom through 3 and 4. Now he is closing the gap ever so slightly to Alonso Chicano.
I wonder if he was saving. I mean, it's a possibility that he was just saving his tires and saving his stuff while he let that number 25 burn it up, because he knows that he doesn't have to worry too much. You know, Hall is here for wins. He's not here for anything else. So he is just here to watch the world burn. And watching Chicano now, he's slowing up just a little bit. So it's very possible that that number 1 truck was just saving and allowing Alonso Chicano to burn his stuff up.
Fryer is down pit road. Chicano coming down pit road now.
There you go. That's going to start the pit cycles. Kyle Reuter's going to slide in as well. Kyle Reuter missed pit road. Kyle Reuter into the barriers. And just like that, another driver with issues. And that might be the end for Kyle Reuter and his run, sliding into the pit barrels. Not the way you want to go out. Let's see if we can get another look at that one. You see there, he's coming down to get onto pit road. Slowing it up here in 3 and 4. That's the thing about Homestead. It's a really hard pit road to get onto if you're not on it enough. And right there, pow! Right into the barrels. The thing is about iRacing, there are no barrels to cause a caution, and you see there, he's out of the race. Kyle Reuter is gone, and that will be the final nail in the coffin. In case there was any other hopes, if Haynes could get back out and race still after the damage, and something happened to Fryer, that's going to end it. So that is officially going to knock that 57 truck out, and that's officially going to lock in the number 21 of Eric Wineland. Is also Brian Haynes has now left the session as well, I see. So we are down to 5 trucks. And right now it's going to be 1 versus 4. Chicano is going to have an uphill battle. He's going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to hold on to this race, if he wants to get this race lead back and try to go on to win it. But pitting about 1 lap earlier than Dustin Hall, I believe, Chicano is going to have to be close. As Wineland now makes his way, looks like he might be getting low to come onto pit road. Actually, not this time. He's going to stay out. 38 laps now, 39 laps this time by for the driver of the 21 truck. As of right now, where everything is situated, Craig Fryer is in, Chicano is out. That also changes if Chicano is able to win this race. He'll be the one to punch his ticket to Phoenix. So it's all going to come down to this. Looking to see Chicano's got 2 seconds on Craig Fryer, and then another 1.5 seconds about the Dustin Hall between he and Fryer. And then Felver, of course, down a lap right now, so 4 trucks on the lead lap. Eric Wineland has stayed out for 40 laps as he continues on. So as of right now,
Definitely. These last 30 laps are going to be very intense of how the points is going to shake out. Will Alonso be able to hold off Dustin Hall, Craig Fryer?
Yeah, it's all a matter of what's going to happen here. If Chicano can win, that knocks out Craig Fryer. If he is not able to win this race, Craig Fryer will be racing for a championship. That's what is on the line. That is the situation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's it. Chicano has to win. Fryer just needs that 25 to not win. That's all he needs to do. And right now, he is gaining time, looks like right now, on Chicano. He's been slightly faster every lap, so it'll be close.
I wonder if Chicano is possibly just saving his tires right now. He knows he has that buffer. No need to push. Alonso Chicano doing the best that he can to stay ahead of Fryer and Hall. He has just a little under a 2-second gap between himself and Fryer. But Eric Wineland continues to lead this race. 28 laps to go. Wineland still has to pit. But on the other end of things, Dustin Hall just got around Fryer. Hall, new third place runner, as he made it look easy getting around Craig Fryer. Dustin Hall, he has turned the afterburners on. How hard is he going to push to get up to Chicano? He knows that is the battle for the race win. Hall running 3/10 of a second faster laps than Chicano.
Yeah, and I think, you know, now with how close it's going to be to the end of this race, it's go time for Chicano. He is not going to play it easy. He's not going to take it easy on this one truck. He is going to fight like hell to make sure he stays behind him and he gets to this championship round. Eric Wineland continues to lead this race. He has not come down pit road yet. He is now over 40 laps since he's been out there. So we'll have to see what happens. But right now, Eric Wineland leading the way. Alonso Chicano is currently in charge of what will be the race lead. When Wineland pits, he'll assume the race lead. And we're coming down to the wire here. And this will be big, you know, a walk-off win for Alonso Chicano, punching his ticket to the championship four. And that's going to come at the expense of Craig Fryer. We're going to have to see, though, because Dustin Hall is still right there. He's still been faster, so we'll see. Is Alonso saving, or is Dustin Hall just that much quicker?
I just have to think Alonso is saving here. He has to, I think, in my opinion. 25 laps to go. He knows it's not a short run, but on the other end of things, Eric Wineland coming down pit road. This will turn lead over to Alonso Chicano, and now it really is the battle for the lead between Chicano and Hall.
With just 24 laps to go, Alonso Chicano, he can see the light at the end of the tunnel. He is a defending series champion in the other league that races here on JCTV, the In the Pits News Truck Series. He won that last season, of course, running Saturday nights. He's been able to win a championship there, but now he's going to look to see if he can make his way to the championship round in this race, in this league, to try to hunt for a championship here. Laps winding down, the gap winding down, just under a second between first and second place. And you know, if anybody's cheering on that one truck, it's Craig Fryer. He needs that 25 truck finishing worse than first. Huge run this one truck has got. He's now 0.6 of a second back.
I'm gonna I'm starting to get curious here to know if Chicano is saving. When does he turn the afterburners on? When does he go and flip the switch?
Right there, 0.4 of a second, I think might have been the time there, because Dustin Hall has been gaining exponentially, but now Chicano looks like he might be picking it back up.
The heat is on. 21 laps to go, and about 3 truck lengths is the gap for this race lead. and a possible chance for a Championship 4 visit for Alonso Chicano.
Doing everything he can, but right now Hall still closing the gap. Hall is right there on his back bumper. It's gonna be a fight. Chicano's not gonna get this one easy. He's gonna have to do everything in his power to hold off Dustin Hall.
Now, just a single truck length is the gap. Hall searching. He's not going to go to the top. He's going to stay right there at the bottom, closing in right there at the tailgate.
Right there on the back bumper. Here comes Dustin Hall looking to play spoiler. He'll go to the top. Alonso goes to the bottom. Alonso's going to try to slide up in front of that one truck and keep him at bay. He'll slide to the inside. Here comes Dustin Hall for the race lead.
Side by side, what's Alonso going to do here? He has the top line. He's going to roll it. Hall, clear of Chicano. What's Chicano going to do here?
Chicano's going to have to fight back, and indeed he does. He is going to push hard to see if he can't go back for it. Try now back to the inside of the one truck. He's going to be right there on the back bumper. Can't quite make the move stick. Coming up this time by, it'll be 17 laps to go here at Homestead.
Chicano is committed to running the bottom line. Dustin Hall, little loose off 4. Not enough to allow Chicano to reel him back in. The gap is not closing as Hall is pulling away from Chicano.
That's the last thing you want to see is Alonso Chicano just slowly losing time to the race leader now, as now it's over half a second for Alonso Chicano to overcome the gap. Gonna have to start searching around for something. That bottom lane just isn't gonna keep cutting it here. He is losing time to Dustin Hall. Side of things, Craig Fryer, he sits third right now. With the way this is, he will be your 4th driver battling for a championship. Chicano losing more time now, 0.8 of a second back, and just losing more and more. Now, with the Mardon PC, 15 laps to go. We get 14 to go this time by. Alonso Chicano, he's going to need a miracle.
Chicano 1 second behind Dustin Hall.
Trying to search around and see if anything will work. See if he can do anything to catch this one truck, but it's just not working out right now. He's still a 10th slower that time. A little loose there out of 4. That'll open the door a little bit, actually. Slightly, but not enough. But Chicano's going to have a bit of a run compared to what that number 1 truck's going to have. If he can just keep sliding it like that, that'll open the door.
Dustin Hall doing the best he can to wrap the bottom. Trying not to bobble at all, but yeah, it was Chicano just a little bit faster than Hall that last time by. Chicano running the middle lane through 1 and 2.
He's starting to find something maybe, but it might be a little too late. He's just not gaining enough time to really mean anything. You know, he's been able to gain little by little, but it's not going to be enough coming up on 10 laps to go. He's going to need a good run here to really try to hunt down this race leader.
Slowly reeling him in is Chicano. I don't know if it's enough though.
It's going to be a lot. It's going to take a lot for him to do so. See if he can't do it. Chicano's looking for his second win of the season. And how about this? This one honestly shocks me. Dustin Hall is going for his first career win in the Juggernaut Truck Series. He has yet to find victory lane. We've seen Adam Benefield, make it to victory lane so many times. I'm honestly shocked. I would have thought Hall would have had a victory by now, but no, he is yet to find victory lane. Of course, made his debut earlier this season at Knoxville. So we'll get to see if Dustin Hall is able to make it stick and make it work. Make it 8 laps to go, still 9/10 of a second. Chicano is just not gaining enough to really matter. He's going to have to make some severe swings here and see if he can't make something work in these last 8 laps. Slow car up ahead, that's the 15th of Carl Felber. 28 seconds off of the pace. Currently riding in 5th place. I see Chicano starting to move a line up. Trying to see if he can make something work in that middle lane just a little bit. Hall is struggling a little bit more now. That time by, Chicano was slower.
Gap is still right around a second. At this point, Chicano would have to find 2/10 every lap.
Saw a big bobble from him there out of 1 and 2. I don't think he's going to be finding it anytime soon unless Dustin Hall makes a massive mistake here and puts it in the wall or spins it out off the corner. I mean, this is all Dustin Hall right now. No surprise there. He started on pole, led, dominated the entire first stage, and pretty much was looking on pace to do the same in stage 2 until it got a little bit later in the run and he wasn't able to fully hold on to it. So I'm just kind of watching to see here if anything happens. Right now, it looks like the person making the mistakes the most is Alonso. He's trying everything he can to see if he can make something work, and just nothing is working in his favor. He can't quite get anything to work. And just like that, he needed a win tonight, and right now he's running 2nd place. Just got beat in a long run after a pit stop, so not going to be an easy pill to swallow thus far, but still 4 laps to go. Stupider things have happened before, I will say that, but I noticed Dustin Hall is moving to the middle lane more. He's running off the bottom a lot more now, and that's paying off a little more down the straightaways when he kind of runs near that middle line in 1 and 2. But 3 and 4, he's wrapping the bottom again. Just 3 laps to go here at Homestead to set the field. Chicano has to win. If he doesn't do it, Craig Fryer is going to be the one locked into the next round, going for a championship. Chicano's been keeping slightly consistent. He's been able to keep up with Hall, but he's not been able to gain time. He's been able to just stay within a second. That's about all it's been. Gonna be 2 laps to go this time by Dustin Hall, running it so tight to the wall there. But 2 laps to go, and again, just about even lap times there. Hall just slightly faster. So Chicano just couldn't get enough together to make the run work. As they come through 1 and 2. See there the 15, Carl Felver up ahead. I doubt he gets in the way here of this one truck. He's going to let him go if he gets to him to make sure his teammate Craig Fryer moves on to the next round.
Dustin Hall going to take the white flag here.
Hail Mary's we're going to have to see from this 25 truck if he wants to go for this race win. He's not close enough to even really make it work. Just see Dustin Hall through 1 and 2 for the final time. See Chicano slide to the inside. He tried it there in 1 and 2. He's not going to get it to work. Dustin Hall wraps the bottom through 3 and 4. He's going to win at Homestead for his first career win in the Juggernaut Truck Series. And with this win, 3rd place finish for Craig Fryer. He will clinch a spot in the championship 4 at Phoenix. And Alonzo Chicano, yeah, I mean, he did everything he had to do. He tried everything he could do. He threw a Hail Mary coming into 1 and 2 and just lost it. Out of 2. And he will not advance to the round of 4.
What a great points battle all the way to the end of this race.
Yeah, that was indeed a really fun battle. You know, we came into this thing, and you know, some guys, it was kind of like looking tight on if they were going to be close enough or not. If it was going to be a thing where we were going to see these drivers, you know, make it to the end and win it here. But we'll go down and see the burnouts here. Dustin Hall burning it down on the front straightaway, sliding it down as he will win here at Homestead, his first career win in the Juggernaut Truck Series. So congratulations, of course, to Dustin Hall, able to do it here for Team Conti. His teammate Adam Benefield did not make the trip down for tonight's race. Dustin Hall able to get it done for the Team Conti boys. And so, unofficially, we're going to look and see your unofficial results. Of course, this is barring any kind of scoring issues. That is the way they finished it. Rich Petrucco, Zach Rinker, Eric Wineland, and Craig Fryer. They're going to be your 4 battling for a championship. Alonzo Chicano just short. He'll be eliminated. Cameron Stone not making the start. He's out of the race. And Dalton Kelly and Dale Leakes Jr., of course, they did not start tonight. So they will not be advancing to the championship 4. And through all of that, that will be your 4 that will race for a championship. This is all unofficial, of course. The scoring, I believe, is exactly what it should be. But, of course, there could be some discrepancies there. Could be a point or 2 off. But even if it's a point or 2 off, it's not going to matter too much because that should be your championship 4. So, wow. Dustin Hall celebrates. Let's see if we can get a word in with our 3rd place finisher locking himself into the playoffs. Let's see if we can get a word with Craig Fryer. Hey, Craig, this is Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. What's going on?
Alrighty, Craig. A 3rd place finish in a short field is just enough to get you in. You will be racing for a championship in 2 weeks at Phoenix. How was that race for you?
It was awesome. Very unexpected to make the Final Four. I thought it was pretty much decided with the fighter's chance. Obviously, with Cam not showing up, opened the door for me. So I have never really raced here before, so getting a third, even though it was a short field, it's great.
Yeah, and with Cameron Stone not showing up, you were able to get the stage points that mattered most. It really just all came down to where you were able to put that truck, and you were able to get through it, and you got done bringing it home third. With the stage win, though, the biggest factor, that was the one that really put you in a position to leapfrog that 57 in the points. So what was it like when you got up there that second stage near the end of it when you decided to pit there?
Yeah, I was like after talking to you after that stage, it's pretty short-sighted, I guess, and the fact that I just need to drive and get up to the front to grab as many points as possible. I didn't really do good in that first stage. I think I only grabbed 4. So I think Carl was telling me I needed to get average 6th in stages and finish around 5th or so. So I was thinking if I get some tires, hopefully with the short field we'd have a long run in third stage, and we ended up having that. That I could just get up there, get up in first, and the higher up you are is less, potential of getting into trouble too. I mean, except for last week when I wrecked from first, but we won't talk about that. Yeah, it wasn't a phenomenal run for me, but it was, just kept it clean and drove pretty smooth. At first, I could hardly hold on to the truck after that first stage. I had to throw a ton of wedge into the Chevy Silverado, but got it done.
Yeah, indeed you did. A third place in a championship 4 lock. Craig, anybody you want to shout out? What was able to get you to this position, to this point in the season to go race for a championship?
Yeah, first I'll shout out to EPI Setups for this setup this week. Dustin did a good job on this one. Also, shout out to CFM Motorsports. It was good to get one of our guys in it, and coming to this, we clinched the team championship. So that was awesome to grab that. Especially with Cody picking up a win last week, it was a really team effort this year. I think all of us except for Carl surprisingly got a win from our team. And of course, I'm going to shout out to our main sponsor, Martin PC. I'm rocking one of their PCs right now, and it's an absolute fantastic machine. You should check it out if anybody's out there listening. It's for the money, there's no way you can beat it. Ryan does a great job, and he's always open for any kind of support, any kind of questions you have. Their delivery service is also incredible too. So, I think I upgraded that a couple weeks ago, and it's just the picture quality and the frame rate is incredible.
Well, alrighty, congratulations. You have made it to the championship 4, racing for a championship in 2 weeks at Phoenix on the 3rd place finish. Congrats, Craig.
Yep, thanks guys. We'll talk to you.
And that was Craig Fryer, your 3rd place finisher and your final contender for a championship. Josh?
And we could not reach Alonso Chicano, so I'm actually going to talk to the guy that finished 4th here tonight. Eric, you are racing for a championship. How does that feel?
Mixed emotions, Josh. Obviously not how I drew that one up tonight. Not any sort of way I wanted to see that thing go. I knew what I had to do. I set myself goals, just if I could finish better than Craig Fryer in each stage, I knew I was going to be okay. And the only other reliance there was Alonso wouldn't win. Obviously, Alonso showed race-winning pace, and I was sweating out that entire race about what he could potentially have underneath him and how good he was. Craig and I were basically equal on speed. It's just a matter of who got the track position there, and I thought we had it in stage 2, and then racing Brian Haynes. I mean, it feels like it's just an iRacing thing. I want to get a chance to discuss it with him, but from what I saw from replays I just watched, basically it got down on my right rear perfectly fine, and then the truck just wouldn't turn. It was like we were making contact, and I couldn't get it to steer. Finally, when I got out of the throttle, I kind of like netcode wheel hopped up over his wheel, and it sent that was it for me. So regardless, we made it. I'm elated about that, but Josh, I'm actually pretty disappointed in quite a few on the roster in the league. A lot of guys did not come out tonight, even if they didn't have something to race for. I was really disappointed to see a lot of guys just not be able to show up tonight. I know some have obligations, but it was disappointing to not see guys like Dalton Kelly, Joshua Smucko, Oscar Enriquez. I mean, heck, Tyler Watermelon made it out here tonight, so really disappointed to not see others. But yeah, mixed emotions going in. It's all focused toward Phoenix.
And speaking of Phoenix, going towards Phoenix, knowing that the three you have to beat are Pachuco, Rinker, and Fryer. Obviously, different track than what we saw tonight. Phoenix kind of plays as a short track a little bit. What are you expecting there for Phoenix?
Yeah, Josh. I expect that I'm gonna have to beat the three best guys in the league, bar none. Those three, and I mean, if I would also count Dustin Hall and Adam Benefill up there if they make it out. But I got to go out and beat the three of the best in the league and just finish ahead of them, whether that's a win or fourth place. It's got to be ahead of them. But the focus is let's just get started. My last time I built for Phoenix in terms of setup was in a very brief stint I had with Slip Angle Motorsports toward the end of the 2020 Road to Pro season. I tried to join, understand setups, help them get better, and unfortunately did not go the way we wanted it to. So I got a lot of work ahead of me to try to put something together there. But I know I got to put something together that's going to beat the three of the best in the league, and obviously some great setup shops too that they're powered by Elite Performance Industries, pay to win setups, and I think Cameron is with Tranquility Esports. So I'm coming in as obvious underdog, and I'll play it that way. But you never know what can happen with a guy who has a nickname Lucky, Josh. So we're gonna hope for that luck and see what happens.
All right. Well, before I let you go, who do you have to thank? I
can't thank the guys here at Mardon Racing League enough. Craig Fryer, Brian Haynes, Carl Felver for putting the show on. They let us enjoy ourselves every other Wednesday night here, and I can't thank them enough for the season we've had. Even if I missed the middle part of the races for some life events, I just can't thank them enough for their time and dedication. Obviously, you guys here in the broadcast booth and for what we were able to do throughout the season, and our previous broadcasters as well. So shout out to those guys for helping put this on, and Mardon PCs for sponsoring the league. And obviously they're a sponsor of mine in a different league, but I can't thank those guys enough. And obviously the guys that made it out tonight, I want to thank them because they made it more interesting. Like I said, I was disappointed that some others didn't make it out. So I appreciate racing every single guy out here. As hard as we race, it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to the rumbles of all sorts of different changes and for next season and beyond, Josh and Dawson. A lot of exciting times here at Mardon Racing League in terms of what may be coming down the pipeline. And I encourage the fans to stay tuned and even check us out and see if they want to come out and drive with us. It's pretty fun out here.
All right. Fourth place finish for Eric Wineland. He moves on to the Championship 4 battle for championship in 2 weeks.
After that, I am here in victory lane with the race winner. He played spoiler tonight. Dustin Hall finally getting it done here in victory lane, here in the Juggernaut Truck Series. Congrats on the win.
Thanks, Dawson.
I've had my eye on you a lot since you've been running. I've constantly had you as my choice to win it, and finally you decide to do it when I choose somebody else. But hey, you got it done. What was that run like there coming to the end, that final green flag run after that pit stop?
So yeah, we went green the entire third stage. I dialed myself out for the first half of that stage. I knew I wanted fresher tires than Alonso. I didn't know if just a lap or if I needed more, so I gave it 2. My plan was always to pit on 100. He came in on 98, so I decided to stick with the plan, and I took every change I put in it out. Didn't short fuel like I had the first half of that last stage. Basically everything I did to the truck, I just threw back out the window and went back to what we started the race with, and it ran. It was really strong at the end. Lap times were pretty good. Alonso got faster at the end of the race than he was most race. So it was I was surprised to see him hang in there, but once I cleared him, I knew I just wanted to keep him at about a second so that I could have some tires if he got to me.
And you were able to get by him there later on in the going, and after that you took off. So you were able to get a good piece put together. You dominated the early parts, and you're able to come back at the end there. So who was able to get it done for you here today? On that one truck to get you in victory lane.
This setup that I used here as a base was one that I worked hours and hours with for round 2 of Road to Pro last year. So it's solid. It's a really good setup, much better than the driver tonight. So yeah, I mean the guys that helped work on the setup all year last year, I guess, are the ones that I've got to thank. I had to do shock tuning since there was a shock update between then and now, but other than that, it unloaded fast, and it was definitely enough to get it done tonight.
Well, alrighty, first place, your first career win here in the Juggernaut Truck Series. Hopefully the first of many to come. Congrats again, Dustin, on the win.
Hey, thanks. Let me give a quick shout out to my nephew Jimmy. I love you, buddy. Keep fighting. And the guys at Team Conti and EPI. Great setups across the board. I'm grateful to be a part of that. And yeah, thanks to you guys for broadcasting, the league for having me.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go here. Dustin Hall, race winner here at Miami.
Thanks, sir.
And with that, we will pull up that championship graphic one more time for you here for the viewers at home to show you. Rich Petrucco, he didn't have to race tonight. He locked himself in at Bristol. Zach Rinker locked in on points at the start of the race even. He had enough of a gap to where he was going to make it no matter what. Eric Wineland locked it in the later goings of the race. And then Craig Fryer, in exciting fashion, he slides in, bumping Cameron Stone from the playoffs. And of course, Chicano, he missed out on it just by not winning the race there. A hard-fought effort, and it just wasn't meant to be for Alonso Chicano. But we have concluded the round of 8, Championship 4 underway. Josh, what are your thoughts about this one here, about this race as a whole, the round as a whole, leading into the Championship 4?
It was a wild round. It was a wild round for sure. And, especially with Talladega right in the midst of it, nothing was guaranteed. And Rich Petrucco, of course, locking himself in early in the round. This round, it was definitely unexpected. It seemed like Stone, he was a lock for Final Four, but it's just the way this system plays out. Stone is not racing for a championship, and I think it's just a chaotic race that we saw today, and looking forward to Phoenix.
Yeah, and you mentioned about Stone missing. I mean, I unofficially the points stand 4 points behind Craig Fryer. He finished second twice. He finished second at Bristol, second at Talladega. 4 points short. And not to mention, too, with Richard Trucco's win, he fell below the cut line at the conclusion of this race. So with that, Petrucco's win is what helped knock Cameron Stone out of the playoffs, because if it wasn't for Petrucco's win, Cameron Stone would be racing for a championship. But that is how this works. You got to win to lock yourself in, and Cameron Stone wasn't able to do that, and he didn't have enough of a gap to afford to miss this race. And in the end, he will be out of the playoffs and not be able to run for a championship. So that'll do it for coverage here of the Juggernaut Truck Series from Homestead-Miami Speedway. The round of 8 has concluded. We're down to 4, and we've got one race left in the season 2 weeks from tonight. special start time for the coverage. We will be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk to all our Championship 4 drivers. We're going to get some thoughts from them before they strap in for the race. And we should have some fun there. Coming up next on JCTV, we got a race this Saturday for the In the Pits News Truck Series. Dover, Delaware, heading to the Dover International Speedway. The Monster Mile, that one should be a fun one. And of course, the Slide Job Racing League next Tuesday. Josh, where are we going next Tuesday?
You put me on the spot here. We are going to Richmond for 200 laps.
200 laps at Richmond. And that one should be fun too. So lots of racing still here on JCTV. But of course, this one here, we're done for the night. 2 weeks from tonight, though, we will be crowning a champion for the Juggernaut Truck Series. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a fun one. Phoenix International Raceway. I'm excited for it, and I think it'll be a fun one. But while we're sitting here, Josh, what is your early pick? Who is your early pick to win the championship?
Man, you put me on the spot once again, but you know what? I'm liking Eric Wineland or Rich Petrucco, but I think it's going to be Petrucco that takes the championship.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you were gonna say Eric Wineland, I was gonna agree with you. I think Eric Wineland is the favorite to win the championship. He has been on a roll. So I would not be surprised to see that 21 wind up in victory lane, hoisting the championship trophy come 2 weeks from today. So that will do it for tonight's broadcast of the Juggernaut Truck Series, the Mardon PC 200 at Homestead-Miami Speedway, or whatever we called it. Thanks again, Josh Coppernoll and JCTV as a whole, for allowing me to do what I do. I always have a blast doing this and calling these races. Of course, again, shout out to Dustin Hall for the race win, and shout out to his nephew Jimmy. We're Jimmy Strong here on JCTV just as well. So for Josh Coppernoll and Dawson Allen, we're saying so long and good night from Homestead-Miami Speedway. Congratulations once again to Dustin Hall, and have a good rest of your night.